On my birthday, my family gave me a special present. When I opened it, it was an eviction notice for my own house. I smiled as I returned the favor on their wedding day. "You're acting like we owe you something, Evan." "You do." "No. What we did was protect what's ours. You didn't contribute, so don't act surprised." "I paid the mortgage for 3 years while Mom was dying, Logan. What the hell do you mean I didn't contribute?" Silence pressed in like humidity before a thunderstorm. "And you got to live there rent-free," Alyssa snapped, flicking her hair over her shoulder. "Don't act like you're some kind of martyr. You stayed in that house to hide from the world." I laughed. That sound, raw, cracked, tired, wasn't mine. Not really. It belonged to the ghost of someone who tried to be good, tried to be useful, and got replaced anyway. "Hide? You think I stayed to hide? You mean when I was bathing Mom, emptying her bedpan, talking her through the night while you were off picking wedding colors?" Dad, Raymond, tried to clear his throat like that would reset the conversation. "This isn't the time, son. Today's supposed to be..." "My birthday?" I said, waving the manila envelope like a prize. "Yeah, it is. Great cake, by the way. Love the sprinkles on the eviction notice." I tossed it onto the dining table. It landed between half-drunk champagne flutes and Alyssa's save-the-date cards. "Happy birthday to me. Who I am. I'm a dear Evan James Carter. 6 years old. I used to think being the quiet one was a kind of armor, that if I just worked hard and stayed decent, people would see me, love me, respect me. I was wrong. I stayed in this house when Mom was diagnosed. I fed her, changed her, carried her up the stairs when her legs gave out. I missed job offers. I missed life. I kept telling myself that family sacrifices for family. But the truth is, not everyone loves equally. Some people only love when it's easy. Raymond Carter, 62. Our father, military man, stoic, stone-faced, and stuck in the 80s. He mourned Mom silently, then disappeared into routine and scotch. Let Logan handle the business side of things. That business was me. "You didn't even ask me," I said, pointing at the eviction notice. "You just signed papers behind my back. This was Mom's house." Logan's smirk was colder than the beer in his hand. "Correction, it was Dad's house. Mom never put her name on the deed. We checked. It's legal." Legal and right aren't the same thing, Logan. Alyssa rolled her eyes. "Oh my God, are you seriously going to play the victim again?" "I'm not playing anything," I said, voice shaking. "I gave up everything for this family. You were gone. I stayed." "You stayed because you had nowhere else to go," Logan spat. "Don't act like you sacrificed some career. You didn't have one." That hit, hard, not because it was true, but because I had let it be. I let them define me. My head was buzzing, heart loud in my ears. I looked at Dad, the one man who could have said, "He's right." But all he said was, "This isn't helping anything." Mom couldn't sleep that night. I remember kneeling beside her bed, holding her hand, her voice thin as string. "They won't remember what you did, Ev," she whispered. "But you'll know. And one day, that'll be enough." I cried into her lap like a child, even though I was already 24. She was so light then, like her bones were letting go before her heart did. I asked her if I was wasting my life. She said, "You're living it, baby. That's more than they're doing." She made me promise not to hate them. I didn't. Not yet. I pulled the flash drive from my back pocket. "So, since this is the day of surprises..." Alyssa narrowed her eyes. "What is that?" 3 years of recorded phone calls, voice notes, and emails. I looked right at Logan. Including the one where you told Dad to transfer the deed while I was at the hospital with Mom. Logan went white. Dad sat straighter. You recorded us? Yup, I said. Just like you secretly signed me out of the family trust, Alyssa. Your little bridal savings came from Mom's insurance payout, not yours. That's a lie. I have bank transfers, receipts, timestamps. Want me to forward them to your fiancé? Dad's hands were shaking now. The room cracked open, Logan yelling, Alyssa crying, Dad standing and sitting down again like a broken metronome. And I just stood there. Finally, they saw me. You selfish little bastard. Logan growled, moving toward me. No, I said. I'm the mirror you don't want to look in. Alyssa was sobbing now. Please, Evan, don't ruin my wedding. You ruined it the second you made me disposable. Raymond finally spoke, voice gruff and dry. What do you want, son? Revenge? I looked him dead in the eye. No, just accountability. I opened my phone. The files had already been sent, not to the media, not to the police, but to their inboxes. A timed message. Let them chew on the truth. You all finally hear me now? Or do you need another file? Silence. Satisfying, sacred silence. I left the house that night with nothing but a duffel bag, a fresh rental agreement, and a strange lightness in my chest. Logan didn't follow. Alyssa didn't scream. But my dad. He stepped onto the porch. You should have talked to me, he said. I tried, I replied. He looked older than I'd ever seen him. Not broken, just human. I failed you, he whispered. I nodded. You did, but I'm not yours to fix anymore. 6 months later, Alyssa still got married. Smaller ceremony. No open bar. Logan lost a few contracts. Tax audit. Karma moves quietly. As for me, I rent a quiet studio now, teach music lessons, and sleep through the night for the first time in years. I don't hate them. I don't even want revenge anymore. They wrote me out of the will, so I wrote them out of my heart. And somehow, that was the most freeing thing I've ever done. Sometimes the ones you bleed for are the first to walk away. But sometimes walking away is the first time you finally start to heal.